Hi, my study buddy here. In this video, we have explained the chapter and question answers are also solved in the end. If you enjoy this video, then hit like and subscribe button. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Story of the Past. What is history? History is like a big, exciting storybook that tells us about everything that happened in the past, before we were even born. History isn't just about dates and facts. It's about learning how people lived, what they did, and how their actions shaped the world we live in today. History helps us understand our roots or where we come from. It tells us about the kings, queens, heroes, and even ordinary people who made a difference.
Imagine you are a time traveler. You can jump back to ancient civilizations, see how they lived, and understand their mistakes and victories. Cool, right?
Sources of history. To tell the story of the past, historians need clues, just like detectives solve mysteries. These clues are called sources of history. We have two main types of sources. 1. Primary sources. These are like original evidence from the past. It's like if you were reading a diary written by someone who lived in that time.
Examples include inscriptions. These are writings carved on stones, metals, or walls, like those found in temples or palaces.
Manuscripts are handwritten documents that tell stories or record important events. Artifacts include things like ancient pots, tools, weapons, and even clothes. These items give us a glimpse into what life was like back then. Coins often have pictures of kings or symbols that provide clues about rulers, trade, and culture. And buildings and monuments, like the Great Pyramids of Egypt or the Taj Mahal, stand as timeless symbols of the past. Secondary sources are created after the event has happened. They are based on primary sources and are like retellings of a story. Examples include history books that help us understand the past by summarizing events. Journals and articles are writings by historians or researchers who explain and discuss past events. Documentaries are films and videos that tell the story of historical events based on research. Now that we know what history is, let's talk about why it's important to study it. History teaches us about the mistakes people made in the past, so we can avoid repeating them. Imagine if no one learned from mistakes. Yikes. We'd be stuck making the same errors over and over. History also helps us see how things change over time, like how people went from living in caves to building big cities. It shows us how ideas, inventions, and cultures evolve. Respecting different cultures. The more we learn about other civilizations and cultures, the more we appreciate diversity and understand how unique everyone is. Building our identity. Learning about the past helps us understand who we are today. It gives us a sense of belonging to our community, country, and the world. Connecting with the world. Studying history helps us connect with people from different parts of the world. You can understand why countries do certain things or how they were formed. Prehistoric times. A glimpse into the past. Before humans started writing things down, there was a time called prehistory. This period is like a mystery story. There are no written records to tell us what happened. Instead, we rely on clues left behind, like fossils, tools, and cave paintings. The Stone Age. The first part of prehistory is called the Stone Age. This period is divided into 3 ages: Paleolithic Age or Old Stone Age. People lived in caves, used simple stone tools, and hunted animals for food. They were nomads, which means they didn't stay in one place but moved around in search of food. The Mesolithic Age, also known as the Middle Stone Age, was a time of change. People started using more advanced tools and began fishing and hunting in groups. They also started making fire, which was a big breakthrough. Moving on to the Neolithic Age, or the New Stone Age, this was the time when people started farming. They grew crops and kept animals. They also built permanent houses instead of living in caves. Let's recap the key points. History is the story of the past, and it helps us understand the world today. Primary sources give us direct evidence, like coins, manuscripts, and buildings. Secondary sources are books, articles, and movies that tell us about past events. Studying history helps us learn from the past, understand change, and appreciate diversity. Prehistory is the time before writing, and the Stone Age is part of this period. Fun activities, and let's see if you can solve them. Answers are solved in the end. You comment and let me know the answers you got right. Now let's test your knowledge with some questions. Fill in the blanks. 1. The study of the past is called. 2. The written records of history are called sources. 3. One example of a primary source is. 4. Coins help us understand the of a period. 5. The time before written records is called. 6. The age is known for the use of simple stone tools. 7. The Neolithic Age is famous for the invention of. 8. The study of artifacts, fossils, and tools helps us understand. 9. The age is also called the New Stone Age. 10. People in the Paleolithic Age lived as. Multiple choice questions or MCQs. 1. What is the main reason we study history? A. To memorize dates. B. To learn from past mistakes. C. To forget the past. D. To write history books. 2. Which of the following is an example of a secondary source? A. A letter written by a king. B. A movie about a war. C. An ancient coin. D. A diary from 1,000 years ago. 3. Which of the following is not part of prehistory? A. Paleolithic age. B. Medieval period. C. Neolithic age. D. Mesolithic age. 4. In which age did humans start farming? A. Paleolithic age. B. Mesolithic age. C. Neolithic age. D. Iron age. True or false? 1. History is only about dates and events. True or false? 2. The Neolithic age is also known as the Old Stone Age. True or false? 3. Primary sources are created after an event. True or false? 4. People in the Paleolithic age lived as nomads. True or false? Alright, let's go through the answers for the fill-in-the-blanks. Here we go. 1. History. 2. Secondary. 3. Manuscripts. 4. Economy. 5. Prehistory. 6. Paleolithic. 7. Farming. 8. Prehistory. 9. Neolithic. 10. Nomads. For the multiple choice questions, 1. The answer is B. To learn from past mistakes. 2. B. A movie about a war. 3. B. Medieval period. 4. C. Neolithic age. And now the true or false statements. 1 false, 2 false, 3 false, 4 true. Wait, here are 10 more question answers too. Let's solve them together. What is history? Well, history is the study of the past, which includes understanding events, people, societies, and cultures that shape the world we live in today. What are the two main types of sources of history? The two main types of sources of history are primary sources, which are direct evidence from the past, for example, inscriptions, coins, and artifacts. Secondary sources, which are interpretations or analyses created after the event, such as books and documentaries. Name 2 examples of primary sources of history. Examples of primary sources are inscriptions, which are writings on stone or metal, artifacts like tools, pottery, and weapons. What is a secondary source of history? Well, a secondary source is an interpretation or analysis of historical events based on primary sources. Examples include history books, journals, and documentaries. Why is it important to study history? Studying history helps us learn from past mistakes, understand how things change over time, appreciate different cultures, build our identity, and connect with the world. What period is referred to as prehistory? Prehistory refers to the time before humans began writing things down, and we rely on evidence like fossils, tools, and cave paintings to learn about it.
What is the Stone Age, and how is it divided?
The Stone Age is the earliest period in human history when people used stone tools. It is divided into 3 parts: the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic periods. What important discovery happened during the Neolithic age? During the Neolithic age, humans discovered farming. They began cultivating crops and domesticating animals, which led to the development of permanent settlements. How did people live during the Paleolithic age? People during the Paleolithic age were nomads. They moved from place to place in search of food, and they lived in caves and used simple stone tools. What is the main difference between the Paleolithic and Neolithic ages? The main difference is that during the Paleolithic age, people were hunters and gatherers and lived in caves, while in the Neolithic age, people began farming, built permanent homes, and developed more advanced tools. Did you enjoy the chapter? If yes, share it with your study buddy, and I would be happy if you could like and subscribe to Study Buddy.